Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the most meta souls that you should be trying to go for, or the most meta souls that you're able to obtain in this game right now. If you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I am trying to hit 5,000 subs by the end of the year. Also, don't forget to join my Discord down below. We just hit 1,200 members, and we're doing a bunch of different giveaways, including 3 times, Primal Fusions, and even a Battle Pass, I believe. If you guys want to have a shot at winning those, don't forget to join down below. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so as you guys remember, I did do an in-depth tier list on all of the units. And after talking with some people in my Discord, a lot of people want me to do an in-depth tier list on the souls. So I don't have every single soul in the game. I think I'm only missing 2 souls, which is Soul of the Challenges and the Soul of Cyclops, which is the new soul that just came out. Those are, I believe, the only 2 souls I'm missing. If I'm missing any souls that you can see, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I believe I should have every single soul in the game right now. So starting off with Dragon Fury Soul. This is a soul that you can get if you summon Shenron using all of the Dragon Balls. And basically, what the soul does is when you use a skill, it deals 8 times of that unit's damage to all units in the range. I believe it goes based off ability damage. It could be normal damage, but I believe it's ability damage. And it does have a cooldown of 250 seconds. So it's actually a pretty decent soul. I wouldn't say it's S tier, but I'm going to put it in A tier, mainly because it is a good soul to have if you don't have another ability damage or damage soul. But I think there are still better souls than that. And then the next soul we have is the Soul Catcher. This isn't really like an actual soul. What this basically does is it just allows you to have a higher chance of soul drops if a soul is dropped from a mode. So like, say for instance the raid, the Steel Ball 1 raid, the soul of the Steel Ball has, I believe, a 0.5 chance, and then if you have the Soul Catcher on one of your units, it makes that go up to, I believe, a 0.7 chance. Also, the way it works is it works for 20 completions and then it disintegrates. But if you have multiple, it will automatically equip onto the unit that had the soul prior. So you can have like a full 5 stacks of them, and you can go through 100 stages before you're gonna have to reset. So I would put this as like B tier, mainly just, I mean, you could put it C tier, I guess, but it's not really like a soul that like helps besides getting other souls, so I would just say C tier. And then going on to the Crying Behilt soul, that just goes into its own tier because it literally just has a bunch of negatives. I believe it minuses your attack cooldown by 15%, your damage by 40%, and your ability cooldown by 50%. Mainly because what it is used for is for the Griffith trial quests. Basically, you're only going to want to equip this if you're doing the Griffith trials. You're not going to want to equip this in any other fashion, as it just nerfs your unit. So going on to the Soul of Blood. Soul of Blood, I would say, is A tier in my opinion, mainly because what the Soul of Blood does is make it to where you deal 100% more dot damage, and it can be any dot damage: bleed, burn, poison, anything like that. But every time you deal dot damage, all allies in range take 3.3% of health damage every 4 seconds. If there are no allies in the range, it doesn't even give a buff, so it's mainly just used to put more dot damage on enemies. That's why I was saying that maybe it could be B, but I would say A. Soul of Challenges, I think, is absolute dog shit, especially for its rarity. All Soul of Challenges does is make it to where if you have it equipped on a unit, it just grants a 0.05% chance to drop soul fragments from any challenges. And especially after adding soul fragments to the new boss event, it's just so useless, so it's just really not even worth going for. And then Soul of Chances is pretty good, I'd say. It has a 50% chance to deal double damage every 3 abilities. So it's definitely not a bad ability soul if you're able to get it. I would probably put it at B tier, but I do think there are better. So, and then Soul of the Cyclops. This is the soul that like no one is able to get right now, as most of the quests are bugged. But basically the way you're supposed to be able to get this is you're supposed to complete 3 of the bounties. So it can be Rascal, Spider, and Lelouch. It could be Boros, Rascal, Lelouch, Spider, Lelouch, Boros, any 3, and then you'll be able to get the soul. So hopefully they do fix it for update, but basically what the soul does is after 3 abilities, it decreases SBA by 10% and increases attack by 20%, and those cap out at 40% SPA and 60% damage. And then if the cap is reached, it then increases crit rate by 1% per ability use. So basically every time you're popping your ability, you're gaining 1% crit on top of the 40% SPA and 60% damage that it gives. So just for that alone, I would probably put that in S tier. I think it's one of the best souls in the game right now. So I would highly recommend getting that when you are able to. Next, we have the Devil Soul. The Devil Soul right now is currently unobtainable. But how you got it before was you had to complete Act 4 for the Chainsaw Raid. And basically what this soul does is every ability does 33% more damage, but it takes away 3% of the unit's current health. And it is really good, mainly due to the fact that the actual like 3% of the unit's health taken was kind of bugged, or is kind of bugged. I don't know if it still is or not. But it wouldn't always take away the HP, but it would still buff your ability damage. So because of that, I would probably put it at least high A or low S. I'll probably put it high S or low S. So, and then Domain of Love Soul. Now, the Domain of Love Soul was bugged when it first, or it wasn't bugged per se, but the Domain of Love Soul, when first came out, synergized with Griffith really well because they would stack on each other and Griffith would do like a bunch of damage. But that has since been patched and it's still a good soul, but I wouldn't really say it's an S tier soul, mainly because I would definitely have other souls equipped over it, but I would probably put it like high A if you do try and go for it. And then Soul of Fire is one of the best souls in the game. I think it is above Devil Soul. So if you have Soul of Fire, you don't need to really worry about having Devil Soul. I still think the Soul of the Cyclops would be better to have when obtainable. So, but as of right now, I think Soul of Fire is one of the best souls in the game, so I would really highly recommend getting it. Basically what it does is it decreases attack cooldown by 33%, but you do have a 5% chance to burn out, which stuns your units for 15 seconds. But that's really not that big of a deal because on 3 times it's only like 5 seconds. So they're only getting stunned every so often for like 5 seconds, which really isn't that big of a deal. But in turn, you're getting 33% attack cooldown. Soul of Greed. The Soul of Greed, probably like B tier. I mean, well, I guess you could put it C tier, but I would say it's high C tier because it's similar to what the Soul of Catcher does, where you're mainly only using it for increased drop rate, because what it does is it increases item drop rate by 25%, but it is not stackable, so I wouldn't have like a full team with it. You only need 1 unit equipped with it and it will work. But it also does decrease damage by 77% and increase attack cooldown percent by 77%. So it's just fully nerfs whatever unit. I would put it on like Griffith, like a support unit you're having on your team if you decide to use it. But it is a good soul to have to increase drop rates of items and units from the different stories and legend stages. Soul of Infinite Riches is very, very good. I would say it's one of the best support souls in the game right now. Basically what it does is make it to where the cost of the unit you have it on is reduced by 45% to place. You also generate 10% more yen every time you generate yen, and then also you generate 3% yen after every 5th attack. So it's a very, very good soul to have on again, Griffith or a support unit, and it's just very, very good to have. Soul of Prejudice is kind of meh. I mean, there's no downside to have it, mainly because what it does is make it to where you deal 100% more elemental damage, but you deal 99% less damage to type disadvantaged enemies. And so, like, there's not really a use for it. I would just rather have so many other souls, so I would probably put it on like C tier, like probably like right there. Going on to Soul of Pure Agony. Soul of Pure Agony is right now one of the best souls in the game. I would say it's like right behind Soul of Fire, sometimes even above Soul of Fire, but I think overall it is behind Soul of Fire on most cases. It is a very, very needed soul to get. You get it by, I believe, sacrificing a Soul of Fire. So if you don't have a spare Soul of Fire, I would just wait, because Soul of Fire is as good, if not better, than Soul of Pure Agony. But basically what Soul of Pure Agony does is makes it to where you have 10% ability cooldown, and you're immune to freeze, stun, and you activate 8,000 shield when you're below 30% HP. So it's just a nice soul to have. You're mainly using it for the ability cooldown and the immune to freeze and stun. So it's just a very, very good soul to get if you are able to. And then Soul of Riches is just a lesser version of Infinite Riches. I would still use it 100%. Soul of the Sloth is okay. It's not really the greatest. I would say it's probably B tier, mainly because it minuses attack cooldown by 33%, but increases damage by 66%, which isn't bad. But in this game, cooldown, like, I would rather have lower cooldown than higher damage. And then Soul of the Steel Ball is a pretty good soul. I would say it's probably A tier, probably above Domain of Soul, of Love Soul, mainly because what it does is it deals 10% of the unit's damage over 2 seconds to enemies hit by the unit with the soul equipped. It stuns them once for 0.4 seconds, so it really is just a nice soul to have for not only stun but also just increased damage. Soul of Thundering Fury is one of the best souls in the game. I think it's like probably up here. It's a very, very good soul to get. I believe you can trade it. I'm not 100% sure. Basically what it does is every third attack, it strikes lightning in front of the unit, dealing 80% of the unit's damage and stunning them for 0.4 seconds. It has a medium AoE, so that's at least like 3 to 4 units if they're bunched up. It's just a very good soul to get if you can. Soul of the Undying is kind of meh. I mean, it's just a lesser version of Domain of Soul. I'm just going to put it at the bottom of B tier, because basically all it does is you summon any dead ally with 25% of their max HP after they die with a 10-second cooldown. It's not a bad soul to have if you have nothing else to use. It's just, I feel like 9 times out of 10, you're not really caring if one of your units dies, because if they do die, they come back within like a couple of seconds anyways with full HP. So it's not really that useful all in all. And then, like with most people who play this game, we have the Soul of Unemployment. So the Soul of Unemployment basically increases your unit's speed by 33%. And it's just a really, really nice soul to have. I would say, like, use-wise, it's probably high B. Honestly, I would probably move Soul of Chances to low A, and then Soul of Unemployment to high B. But yeah, it just increases speed by 33%, and it's just a really good soul to have. The way you can obtain this soul, you get it from the ranger stages of the Bleach ranger stage, I believe. It's a hidden drop rate. I'm not 100% sure what the exact percentage is, but it's probably the same like other souls, they just don't say it. And then last but not least, we have Soul of Virtual. Soul of Virtual is very, very good. I would say it's S tier. Actually, you know what? I am gonna probably move the Devil Souls down to high A, mainly because after looking at these souls are just way too broken compared to Devil Soul. I mean, it is a good soul, but I would still rather have any of these souls over Devil Soul. So, but the Soul of Virtual basically makes it to where every time you hit a critical hit, you increase your damage by 1%, all the way to a cap of 100%. So basically, like for units like Fingernail Saint, virtual sniper, virtual swordsman, a couple other units as well. It's a very good soul to have on them, especially if the unit doesn't die, so that they can stack up that 100% more damage. And it's just a very good soul to have. But yeah, that's pretty much my tier list. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you guys disagree or agree with certain souls being where they are. Like I said, I believe this should be every soul in the game. If I am missing any, I do apologize. But I did use all of these souls that were in my inventory, plus the soul of challenges and the soul of the Cyclops, which is not obtainable. So, but I do believe this should be every single soul. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I am trying to hit 5,000 subs by the end of the year. Also, don't forget to join my Discord via the link down below. I am hosting a bunch of giveaways right now, a bunch of 3 times, a battle pass I believe, and a few primal fusions if you missed out on them. So don't forget to join my Discord link down below. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.